Welcome to this brief overview of the Wisconsin State Board of Nursing. We're going to discuss the role of the board in regulating the profession of nursing and protecting the health of the public. I'm Luann Skarlupka, and I'm one of the two public members on the Board of Nursing.
And I'm Cheryl Krause. I'm one of the nurses on the board and the current vice chair. Luann and I will both be covering different aspects of the board and its functions.
Now, there are many health profession boards within the Department of Safety and Professional Services, and the Board of Nursing is one of those. Supporting the board in its work is administrative, investigative, legal staff that advise the board. The Board of Nursing oversees education, legislation, licensing, and discipline of all nurses in the state, which includes LPNs, RNs, nurse midwives, and advanced practice nurse prescribers. Now, the advanced practice nurse prescribers, of course, is any nurse who has prescriptive authority, and examples would be nurse practitioners and CRNAs. Now, a broad range of staff employed by the Department of Safety and Professional Services support the board in various capacities. The executive director serves on multiple boards and works closely with our chair, who is an RN. In addition to the executive director, we have board legal counsel, an administrative rules coordinator, and a bureau assistant that attend the meetings. Additional staff work behind the scenes to coordinate monitoring, credentialing, education, and investigations. The Board of Nursing is made up of all volunteer members. There are 9 members, 5 RNs, 2 LPNs, and 2 public members. It's important for the general public to be represented by the 2 public members to give the perspective of the person receiving care. And if expertise is needed in an area outside of the board member's education experience, we consult with individuals that have that expertise. Any nurse or public member can apply to serve on the Board of Nursing. Extensive background checks are completed on each member, and several steps must be completed prior to the confirmation by the full state Senate. Each term is 4 years, and members may serve up to 2 consecutive terms. In regards to nursing education, the board regularly interacts with faculty from schools of nursing during the open session of the monthly board meetings. We establish minimum standards, approve nursing schools, and monitor NCLEX passing rates. If a minimum pass rate is not met, a school may be required to submit an improvement plan to the board. Chapter 441 of the Wisconsin State Statutes establishes the framework for the practice of nursing and grants authority to the Board of Nursing to regulate it. Included in Chapter 441 is a section on the Nurse Licensure Compact, which defines the law for nurses who choose to practice outside of Wisconsin in states that have also adopted that compact. Where Chapter 441 of the Wisconsin State Statutes establishes the framework for regulating the nursing profession, the Wisconsin Administrative Code in N1 through N9 provides the details. It's crucial for you to be fully aware of the standards that govern your nursing practice. It is especially helpful for nurses to review N6 and N7, which clearly outline the expectations for every licensed nurse. In addition to enforcing these rules, the Board of Nursing regularly reviews and updates them.
Complaints against specific nurses that are filed with the Department of Safety and Professional Services might come from patients, patients' families, coworkers, supervisors, or other agencies even. Specific criteria are utilized to determine whether the complaint is immediately opened for investigation, forwarded to a screening panel comprised of an attorney and members of the board, or immediately closed. Once a case is open for investigation, a team consisting of an investigator, an attorney, and a case advisor, who is a member of the board, reviews the case and makes the recommendation to the full board. The board may approve the recommendation or suggest revisions. Actions of the board fall into 2 categories: non-disciplinary and disciplinary. So under the non-disciplinary outcomes, a case may be closed because it's concluded that there are no violations, there is insufficient evidence to prove a violation, or it may be closed for a number of reasons under the general category of prosecutorial discretion. Non-disciplinary actions include an administrative warning and a remedial education order. The issuance of an administrative warning is public information, but the details of the case are not made public. A remedial education order, on the other hand, is used when education alone will sufficiently address the violation and protect the public. When discipline is needed, the guiding principles from a 1976 case are utilized to select the least restrictive option that will adequately fulfill the three purposes listed here. The need to rehabilitate the licensee may range from education to treatment for substance abuse. First and foremost, the Board of Nursing has a responsibility to protect the public. The fact that discipline is public knowledge can be a deterrent to other nurses who may be at risk of engaging in similar conduct. Cases may be accessed and reviewed by going to the Board of Nursing website. They are listed in the newsletter that is emailed to licensees on a regular basis. There are several options that are considered to be disciplinary, ranging from a reprimand to summary suspension. An investigation may result in using one of these disciplinary actions or a combination of them. In most cases, there is a stipulated agreement reached with the nurse, meaning that the nurse accepts the findings of fact and conclusions of law and order. If the stipulation is not accepted, the case goes before an administrative law judge and then comes before the board for final approval. In extreme cases, a revocation or summary suspension is needed in order to protect the public. There are 3 additional resources we would really like you to know about. The Professional Assistance Procedure offers a confidential option to support chemically impaired nurses who meet criteria for acceptance into the program. It is a voluntary program to help nurses who are struggling with addiction. The link for this program can be found at the Wisconsin Board of Nursing website. Additional information at the Board of Nursing website includes licensure applications, NCLEX pass rates, forms for filing a complaint or required reporting such as a conviction, and the state statutes and rules discussed earlier. Finally, the NCSBN brings boards of nursing together to discuss and set standards for nursing regulation. You will find educational resources for individual nurses, as well as resources for boards of nursing at their website. In summary, the Board of Nursing regulates how nurses are educated and licensed, reviews and implements statutes and administrative rules, and utilizes discipline only as necessary to promote rehabilitation, protect the public, and deter other licensees from engaging in similar conduct.
Thank you for your participation in this brief overview of the Wisconsin State Board of Nursing.
As the logo indicates, we are here to move Wisconsin nursing forward and protect the public through licensure, education, legislation, and discipline.